Hello YouTube, vintage stereo collectors and restorers. Hey, let's try another take here. I had sudden attack of hiccups. Um, this is the Night stereo amplifier I was talking about, the tube one, the KG-20, KG-250. And I just thought I'd go a little bit over it. I'm waiting for parts for the Dynaco AF6 tuner. It has a bad multiplex IC in it. I put a few caps into it and got the AM and FM working, but there's no stereo. Let's go and work on this one for a while. And just showing, this would be the bottom of it. So you've got the inputs, speakers, and the two 12AX7 tubes, which are basically the magnetic phono preamp. And these have one unique feature, well actually two. One is that they're very close to the input jacks, so there's less opportunity for noise. Number two is the heater filaments are actually run off the cathodes of the 6BM8s. And I might as well show you the tubes. So that's fun. So it has 3 RCA 6BM8s and 1 Mullard 6BM8s, interestingly enough. And that's the Mullard 6BM8. This is the 6CA4 rectifier tube. They look the same. They're pretty dirty. Hard to read the labels. So we got a bit of a mismatch here. I have got quite a few 6BM8s. I might go with some older ones. I think I may even have a set of national ones. I have some Soviet ones. We'll do some tube matching later once we get the basics of it rebuilt. If this rectifier tube is good, keep on using it. The two RCA 12AX7s, they look fairly new. I don't think it's what came with it. But just give you an overview here. There's the main filter cap, and it's got a few in it. It's 3 or 4 in 1. It's 4 in 1. This is quite a thing. Yeah, let's cut it out of here. What do we get it out of here? Let's get a screwdriver. My kingdom for a screwdriver. I think that's Shakespeare. I don't know. It's something my dad used to say. You know how you adopt things from your parents, things they used to say, or mannerisms? He'd be out in the garage working on something on the weekend. He'd say, "My kingdom for a screwdriver." That meant, go and get one for me. This hasn't been turned on in 100 years, so I'm not too worried about clipping it off. This is quite a multi-unit when you look at it. It has a 4400, an 80 microfarad 350, actually two 80 microfarad 350s, 40 microfarad 200, and 40 microfarad 25, which would be on the cathode a couple of the 6BM8s. Now you get a better view. It's a pretty simple unit, actually. Basically the power supply is right here with some drop-in resistors. What I'll probably do is add another terminal board, and I'm going to go with separate caps here. This allows me to get in at the 212AX7s and put polyester caps in place of the ceramics. Check to make sure those drop-in resistors are all good. I've had some issues with them in the past. There's two 470K, or no, sorry, I think they're 270K in the plate circuit. It's been a little while, that tend to get noisy. The first thing I'm doing just a few minutes ago, though, I gave all the controls a shot. So you got the knob here and the control back here, and put a little lube on the shafts. The bass control would hardly turn. Now it's moving. It's not bad. Still a little tight. Treble on off is perfect. The on off switch is working, which is right here. This is a problem with some of these. That wire's crisp as potato chips, so I'm going to change it. But there's the switch. There's the cap so you don't hurt yourself. I cut the power cord off because it was very dried out. So replace it, that's no big deal. These are actually very good tube sockets. They usually don't break. Then along here, you've actually got access to all the circuitry. There's only two hard caps to get at. They're back behind the treble and bass control. There's a couple ceramic caps, and of course there's the output transformers. So there's actually not that many components to this. It's pretty simple for the day. Just going back to here, you can actually take 3 screws out here and split the case. That's the secret. If you want to replace any of the caps on the other side of the controls, split the case, loosen these screws. You can actually split it apart and get at them. Other than that, it's got, the wiring is very stiff on it. Some of it I'd be a little concerned about. I'll check it over as I go along. Yeah, and then I believe I've got all the caps to fit into here. I was actually looking at some pictures of the last one of these that I did, and which was actually 2016. And I did put another terminal strip right here, put in some metal oxide resistors, and had the different caps along here. Looked really good. Could even put an LED lamp in place of that. Let's see, is this the original? Yes, it's bayonet style. So you can put a bayonet style LED lamp in there. I think I've got one of those too. And quite a few things to do. Should go fairly fast. If anybody has any questions about these, the reason I'm doing this one is this is a great one. This is the kind of stuff I started out at many years ago when I was a teenager. I'd find stuff like this and the Heath kits, the Knights. So I'm talking mid 70s, okay? These were already 10 years out of date, and a lot of people were like, well, it was cool, I made this 10 years ago, but they had moved on to a Sansui or Marantz or Kenwood or something. And I find these at garage sales. I remember finding this exact one, but with the wood sleeve, and maybe 79 or 80. And I was just thrilled to have it and the chance to make it work. And that's what was wrong with it. I replaced that with separates. I actually went into a place that's long gone. It was a True Electronics store. And I actually brought the amp with me like this without the cover. And I said, I bring it in and I'm hanging on to it. I sit down on the counter and I said, what am I supposed to do with that? Do you have one like that? And he goes, oh no, you're not going to find one like that. And then he started to pull out the separates. And he said, yeah, you replace it with separate caps. And I was like, oh, that looks difficult. But actually, wasn't bad. I went to the library. This is how much things have changed. I went to the library and found a schematic. They had some SAMs there. And that got me going on it. So now it's kind of neat. Like I found a schematic online, like in 30 seconds, if that. Going to work with the schematic. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening.